My name is Shasta, and I'm going to tell you my story. I wear many hats in life. I am a wife, a mom, an entrepreneur, a master cosmetologist, a gardener, a volunteer, several hats. But today I'm going to talk to you about the most important hat that I wear, and that is I am a child of God. I was not raised in church. I went to church like on maybe Easter or some random days sometimes with family members. Some summers we would go to vacation Bible school with some friends, but really that was about it. I never knew what it was like to be a part of a youth group or, be a part of a church family, nothing like that. And it wasn't until my freshman year in college, we had, right after I graduated high school, moved over to this side of town, and my neighbor had come across the street and asked me to go to church with her, and I was really hesitant about it, to be honest. And I thought, well, if I say yes, then I'll go, and then she won't ask me again. But the night that she asked me to go with her was a special youth group event, and it was a lock-in, and I truly didn't even know what a lock-in was. So I went with her, and I had so much fun. I met a lot of new people. I met this guy there too. I thought he was really cute, but that's not why I went. But anyways, I remember that night very clearly. It was this beginning of going to church, because the bond there that this youth group had, I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted whatever they had. And so that's what started me going to church. And then fast forward several years later, that cute boy that I met at the lock-in is now my husband. I have never left the youth group. I'm still a part of the Student Fusion youth group. And because of that, my life changed drastically, because now I have a relationship with Jesus. My faith is so strong, where thankfully I was a good kid and I've always been scared to, not get in trouble or anything like that. So my testimony is not one of those that are like, whoa, I was wild and then I found Jesus and now I wasn't. It's not that, but it's still my testimony, and my life did change. The way that my life probably changed the most was there was a lot of doubt. Like, I remember even being in high school, and I would wake up like in the middle of the night and I was scared to die. And as crazy as that may sound, that was a fear of mine. And it was because, well, I didn't know where I was going when I died. And as a kid, I did go through the process of asking Jesus into my heart during vacation Bible school, but I truly did not understand what I was doing, and I just went through the process. It wasn't until the first mission trip that I went on with the Student Fusion youth group, and Benji Mathis was our youth minister then. And he asked me, he barely knew me then, he asked me to give my testimony. Well, I didn't even know what to say, because what was I going to say? I was a baby Christian, and so one of the things it was little things that were starting to change in my life. And when I gave my testimony that night, it just hit me like a rock that my taste in music had changed. I was listening to music that I really shouldn't have been listening to, with some terrible lyrics and stuff. And I started enjoying Christian music, and it made me feel, it just was uplifting and it brought me joy. So I actually stood in front of the youth group and broke my CDs, and that was the first time I had ever given my testimony. I would be lying to say that doesn't put some pressure on you, because people are waiting to see you fail. But guess what? We're human, and we all fail at some point or another. But my favorite, our favorite verse as a family is Matthew 5:16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they can see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. basically, and the one thing that we tell our kids is let your light shine. We use that all the time. So when someone sees you, you shouldn't even have to say the name Jesus. They should be able to see him in you. And God made all of us with all of these different talents, all these different hats that we wear. And it allows doors to open that normally would, I couldn't open some of these doors that he's opened for me and my family and through our life. And that allowed us to, reach others and tell others about Jesus and, share his name and glorify him. Just like the verse says, let your light shine. Not meaning, hey, let Shasta's light shine. No, it means like the things that I do, and I don't do them for myself or for self-glory. They are completely for God's glory. So it's let your light shine, but yes, to glorify your Father in heaven. And that is one thing, when a life storm hits you, it's not always easy to let your light shine. I know. During this whole COVID-19 thing, I had some health stuff going on, and long story short, I found out last week that I have a meningioma tumor in the front part of my brain. And let me tell you, when I found out that news, there was nothing thinking about shining right then. But I know that, whatever storm that we may be faced in life, he's going to use that. So there may be someone down the road, just like a really good friend of mine. She had the same thing a couple of years ago. I've been able to talk to her. And so God's using her, what she went through 3 years ago, to help me, and so on and so on. So that's the part of, in a life storm, God's going to use you in some way to help others. And as a human, storms are going to come up in our lives. I mean, it's a guarantee. But as a Christian, we're able to face those storms with faith, knowing that God is going to get us through this storm. And before I was a Christian, I did not understand that. There were small things, but I felt like my world was falling apart around me because I didn't have that relationship in Jesus. And that is the story of Shasta and my testimony. And if I have to leave you on one last note, that would definitely be let your light shine.